Welcome to our 2022 Able Assembly Conference session, Arts-Based Education, Key to Success, Model of Practice, Aruba, Dutch Caribbean, presented by Elise S. Sobol, EDD, and Rose-Marie Provence, MSc. My name is Elise Sobol. I serve as an advisory board member of both the Berkeley Institute for Arts Education and Special Needs and the Fondación Mochila Creativo in Aruba. I'm sitting at my desk in my home office in Melville, Long Island, against a white wall with a framed logo of Mochila and 4 framed diplomas with a smiling photograph of me in cap and gown. I am a brunette with medium colored skin and shoulder length hair. I am wearing a navy blue dress with a patterned scarf and tortoise framed reading glasses. My colleague, Rose-Marie Provence, founder director of Fondación Mochila Creativo, comes to you today from her brightly colored office in sunny Dutch Caribbean island of Aruba. She is sitting at her desk and will introduce herself to you later on in our presentation. Our agenda will cover 4 points. 1, describing the steps that were taken to develop the arts-based education model of practice we are sharing with you. 2, information about our successful music teacher education preparation workshops. 3, explanation about the innovative Learn to Workplace program for students with disabilities. And 4, we will conclude our presentation with contact, references, resources, and website information. I bring to our topic my experience as a P12 music educator in both general and special music education, as well as a college professor specializing in teacher education preparation. My most recent full-time academic position was visiting associate professor of music education at New York University, where my appointment included being director of music education, undergraduate through doctoral programs, the coordinator for music licensure programs, and the founder director of Continuing Education in Music, a community outreach program for adult learners with and without disabilities. From 1993 to 2019, I served the New York State School Music Association as the state chairperson for Music for Special Learners. My responsibilities included being a resource for members in all counties throughout New York State, and most primarily as a leader to help shape policy and practice concerning inclusive music education. My career years have paralleled the passing and reauthorizations of United States landmark legislation laws for special education and civil rights. To do my part to support the movement through professional writing, speaking, and active teaching, my key messages were that there was no greater lively art than music for bringing out the learning potential of a student, that there is an immortal spirit with full capacity to learn in each and every child, regardless of their disability. And to that end, every child should and can have school success. During these years of active service to the New York State School Music Association, I was fortunate to be invited to share my message of music success for special learners globally with international educators and practitioners. My text, An Attitude and Approach for Teaching Music to Special Learners, first came out in 2001, followed by multiple editions. Please see Figure 1, photo of text covers at the end of the presentation. In 2003, Rose-Marie Provence established Fondación Mochila Creativo to promote the arts and culture in the Aruban community. In fall 2004, my co-presenter brought 9 teacher education candidates to New York University from the Instituto Pedagogico Arubano to observe curriculum teacher education practices. Serving as their music chair, Rose-Marie Provence was a highly experienced, well-respected Dutch-trained music educator and a certified music therapist. When she visited my music and special education classes, she saw a new approach to teaching, a demonstration of my then unique multimodal, multisensory, facilitative style of music instruction that featured oral, visual, tactile, kinesthetic participation for 100% student engagement. This attitude and approach for successful music inclusion reached a wide range of diverse learners with a variety of cognitive, communicative, behavioral, and emotional, physical, or sensory traits. As Rosemarie Provence watched all participants experiencing joy in the music activities, she became convinced that she wanted to bring this type of teacher education preparation to Aruba. She developed a plan for sponsorships in collaboration with her foundation. August 2005, I arrived in Aruba to give my first set of professional development workshops entitled Reaching Higher with Music and Education. Please see Figure 2, the newspaper clipping at the end of the presentation. The professional development workshops were supported wholeheartedly by the Minister of Education as something for the betterment of the Aruban community. Over time, Rosemarie Provence and I added themes to this series so that her teacher candidates and other Aruban educators could apply these successful evidence-based teaching practices in their own classrooms. Teachers came from Aruba, Bonaire, and Curacao to learn more about applying arts-based teaching to optimize success of all their learners. The themes were built sequentially: Reaching Higher with Music and Education, Part 1, Reaching Higher with Music and Education, Building Cultural Connections, Part 2. And at this 2006 workshop series, participants completed a compilation of Aruban music for teaching and learning with integrated curriculum lessons K through 12. Please see Figure 3 and the resource page for the link to the complete compilation at the end of the presentation. Additional workshops followed: 2011, Reaching Higher with Music and Education, Musical Intelligence in the Classroom, and 2018, Reaching Higher with Music and Education, Inclusive Classroom Success for Lifelong Learning. Topics centered from basic information on teaching and reaching exceptional children to meeting expectations for standard-based instruction through the arts and embracing culturally responsive pedagogy. By 2019, Fondación Mochila Creativo became a recognized center for supplemental arts-based activities for children, youth, and senior citizens. The importance of the arts to sustain one's culture through education was undeniable. Schools island-wide were participating in the programs of Mochila, and word of opportunity traveled to educators and performing artists around the Netherlands and the Dutch Caribbean. As an inclusive, instructional, and visionary leader in her community, Rosemarie Provence saw that more was needed for students with disabilities to compete independently in the workplace. The stage was set. She moved forward to meet these goals. In 2020, she retired from full-time teaching and established Mochila's secondary arts-based school, a learn-to-workplace skills program for students with disabilities aged 16 to 25. The first of its kind, the school program was just recognized with the prestigious 2022 Appeljet van Orange Award by the Netherlands as among the top 10 social initiatives in the Dutch Caribbean. It gives me great pleasure to introduce to you my esteemed colleague, Rosemarie Provence, who will now tell you more about her unique school.
Thank you, Elise. I'm Rosemarie Provence, founder and president of Fundación Mochila Creativo, an arts foundation for children, youth, and adults. And also I'm director of the secondary arts-based school for students with disabilities. During my career, I have seen how studying the arts and culture enhances school success at all levels for all learners. Every child is entitled to a good education to prepare them to participate in the community. It's their civil right. Children who need additional support are also entitled to appropriate education that challenges them, that reaches out from their possibilities and rises them above their limitations. Schools must take care of all students and be responsible to offer every child a good education. Mochila Creativo noticed that it could do better for a youth with special education. Driven to fill the educational gap in Aruba, in 2020, Fundación Mochila Creativo opened the first secondary arts-based school for youth with disabilities, first of its kind in the Caribbean. The vision of our school is that the students who follow this pre-vocational program will be able to get work in the community. We try to enhance the quality of life of these students. They will be fulfilled for life in terms of knowledge, skills, and gifts to look forward to. It makes students understand that there is a path to follow. Mochila Secondary Arts-Based School meets 6 educational objectives. The first, the students will learn to give shape to language, arithmetical concept, science, orientation on the world, skills and techniques through a digital program and go through a creative process by means of knowledge, skills, and attitude through the performing arts like music, visual arts, theater and movement, and through the Learn to Workplace. Second, the students will learn to express their feelings, ideas, and experiences. Third, the students will learn to verbalize their opinion and to communicate. 4, the students learn to work together as a team. 5, the students learn to reflect on their own work and from another. 6, students gain knowledge about and receive appreciation for aspects of cultural heritage. You can now view the detailed model of Mochila's secondary arts-based school in the video we have made for you. Please stop this presentation and click the link for the video in our research page and then return to this presentation after you view the video. Thank you.
Thank you, Rosemarie. We are so very excited to share information about Mochila's secondary arts-based Learn to Workplace school. Here is a link for you to browse through the website. Additionally, please click the link for the flyer under our resource page. We shall continue to report on the success of this model of practice. We hope the handouts and references will be helpful and inspire you in your work. Should you be interested in setting up an arts-based education Learn to Workplace program in your own communities, please do not hesitate to reach out to us. Our contact information is Elise Sobol at elisesobol232@gmail.com and Rosemarie Provence at provence.rosemarie@gmail.com. Enjoy the rest
of the conference.
And we say thank you.
Thank you. In Papiamento, we say Masha Danki.